Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Touken Rambles podcast. I am your host, Marissa, and I am here today with my wonderful other ramblers. I'm joined by Jesi,
Heyo.
Lexi,
Hi.
Sarah,
Hi, lovelies.
and Sarah.
Hello.
So we got a heavy load of a podcast this month, which is understandable considering last month was very, shall we say, very lax and relaxing. But just before we get into the game, I want to say thank you guys so much. We hit the 250 download mark in total across all mediums. So thank you guys so much for downloading our podcast and listening to us. So yeah, let's hop right in. We left off last September with kind of the very end of the Delicious Dango Chasing Rabbit Village 2 event. I think many of us had already had the background last time, and I know Lexi is not very happy.
I'm not. I'm still very much angry. I had the boss node. It was there. It was within my grasp, and then bam, maintenance. It's okay, guys. I'll just go over here and cry.
So unfortunately, Lexi did not get the pretty moon background from the event. Such is life. But yeah, that it'll come back next year. So
At least if you have any mochi left, they're very useful when one sword is just randomly like, hi.
Yeah, like when Kashu decides he's not happy with the rest of the Kiwame team for no reason, while the others are in Sakura Fubuki, and he's over here having a grumpy old time. Okay, dude. You do you, man.
Looking at Soza for me. It's okay, Bab. It's okay.
You're still loved. Get back to work.
But yeah, after that little mini event finished up, we once again got another underground treasure chest. Due to the recent changeover of smithing and drop stuff, the event has drastically changed. Instead of every 10th floor has a certain one of the event Toshiros, Hakata, Goto, Shinano, Hocho, and Mori can drop from the boss nodes on floor 50 through the 90th floor. So they aren't on the top floors, unfortunately. I think I got that right. It's been a while since I did UTC, but the drop rate did increase every 10 floors or so, and on the 99th floor, only Awataguchi swords dropped from that boss node. So it was a nice way of grinding Ichini. Got about 5 of them from the event. A lot of Ichinis came home. I think more than Mori's. So, how was everyone's new experience with this UTC? Favorable?
It was nifty. You first.
You don't want. I'm salty. You are a little less salty. You go first.
Okay, so I mainly use UTC to get my boys up into the 50s. Because I had quite a few below 40 even.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now my lowest sword that's not Kiwame is like 51. So it worked really well. I enjoyed getting to grind those levels for not resources, but for a little bit of Koban, and for all the XP that it gave. quite a bit of it too. It was nifty. But I didn't get Ichini. I got pretty low though. I was really excited. I got the lowest I've been in UTC, I think in the 7. Unfortunately, I didn't go further down though because I was again trying to work on those levels. But I enjoyed it. It was decent. It was good. I just wanted Koban. Won't be used for a while, but I'm really glad I got the Koban.
Salty,
Eh.
Sarah?
So, like Jesse, I was just kind of here for the Koban and the EXP because I don't like leveling Kiwame. It's a pain. So I was just in that hell of constantly trying to level the Kiwame boys and just kept digging and digging. And, like, occasional drops for fun, just looking like, yay, Rambu material. And then, you're just chilling, and a couple of Tachis are very, very confused. They think they're Tonto. This is fine. Lovely. And then, you're just sitting on, like, floor 70 something, and Mori drops. And you're just like, why? Because I don't know if y'all remember that back when this came around last time, and I hit floor 99 without a single sign of Mori last year. And it was so yes. So just seeing him casually drop on one of those lower level ones was just like, I spent so many hours and so much resources last time, and you're here. Why? Please no. So yes. I was just seeing my life flash before my eyes a little bit. So yeah, that was my UTC. Yep. Hi. I'm salty. I'm very salty.
I remember being excited because I got like 3 Ishis. No Ichinis. I think I got a Mori. Maybe 1? Maybe. No, actually. No Mori. But
No
several of
salad
the
for
others.
you.
I might have gotten
Still no
one.
salad for me.
I got
I
one
got him
Morty,
as an easy.
but yeah. Lexi
I
or
like
Sarah, do you guys have
see.
anything?
I
Oh, you can go ahead.
sorry. My youth enjoyable. I spent a lot of time with my good kids and the Kotets. They were great. They were having a great time. Going from like level 20 to Nagasone's now 85 and Hachiska's in those high 60s and Urashima kind of dropped off at 40. That's when he gave up on like floor 35, maybe floor 40. He was like, yeah, I'm not having fun anymore. I'm going to go chill out back at the Citadel. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, level gaps still exist. That's a big oof. But I got a visit by my good casual favorite baby Tonto. Shinano, he decided to drop for me on the first try. Hakata maxed out. He was having a good time. So did actually. But that's a different story. I won't go into that one quite. But yeah, I got the floor 50 and I was like, okay, time to go back and level up some other baby. And that's what I had.
Well, for my TC, there's really actually nothing to talk about because I didn't even. So there's nothing to talk about for me.
No worries. It is
Indeed.
a grind. It's a big old grind. But yeah, I kind of liked how they did the UTC. I actually managed to. It's been a while since I've actually managed to get through floor 99. I used to do it all the time on older UTCs. It's run number 12. I've been playing for almost 2 years at this point, and since like a certain point, floor 99 or floor 50 has been literal hell. It's not the funnest floor to grind on, and oof. I managed to actually get through it without any problems. Last time I got to floor 99, used the floor 98. And then I used the pass, like the free pass that they give you to go through a floor and just hit the boss node on floor 99. And I said, I'm done. Jesi and Sarah were there when I did it. I was like, I used the pass. We're done. I didn't want to deal with it. This time I actually managed to get through it off the skin of my teeth. RNG actually loved me, and it took me down that little Koban route at the bottom. So I missed a ton of battles, and then I went straight up to the boss, and I was like, oh, bless this. But yeah. Is good is a good event for Koban and EXP. I think I had all my swords maxed out at 99. I think by this point. I think I was just running QEs at this point. But yeah. So after this event, the Solar Term background series exchange ended, and all of your items from that event, including the manure, are gone, except the Competo that you collected throughout. That stays. But it will be back.
Did the manure go away? Because I still had an extra manure.
Did you? You might. Weird.
Because I know it went poof that one day where it was like it held
Yeah.
it on for like 2 or 3 weeks and then it went bye-bye.
Yeah,
During the-
like the event ended, and then right before the current background campaign got implemented, everything went poof. But I have no idea. I had like a random manure sitting about too, and I was like, where did you come from? So maybe it was a small little like token of here, keep the manure. I don't know. I didn't have much manure. But yep, for those of you who didn't get the beautiful little sunflower background, it will be back next year. It seems like this is going to be a recurring series that we are going to be getting, considering we are currently in the Solar Term Winter Background campaign series. So it is a beautiful. It's a nonsense scene, right? My brain.
It's a garden. It's
a
a
pretty
very
garden.
pretty. Yeah.
Flowers.
Sarah happened to beat us all to it.
Yeah, Sarah did. I got it like 2 days after her because RNG hated me and I forgot to send swords out to go get manure. One day, whoops. But it is the same as the previous fall one. You get your items through internal affairs, front lines, and expeditions. But this time you are collecting sweet potatoes, persimmons, chrysanthemums, and shishimo fish. So you're another fish, another type of flower, and 2 types of vegetables that are usually seen about this time of year. So
Oh, definitely. I can confirm that. Sweet potatoes, satsumaimo, they are the snack of the season, as well as persimmons. You can find those anywhere. They're also really good. I had one this time recently.
Also, compost, once again, you can get it through horsekeeping, and is used to increase the number of vegetables obtained from field work. So it doubles or triples your sweet potato and persimmons that you will get, which will help you so much in the long run in getting that background. And by doing normal battle and doing the sword training one, I always forget there's 3. Sending them out to go spar will still give you the competo. I have over 100 competo for Cold Tummy Son ready for his butt when he gets home. So yeah. What do you guys think of the event? Did everyone get the previous background?
Yay.
I know, I think I was the first one to get that one.
I think so. I kept goofing and forgetting what manure was. So last time took me effort. But we
You
got
also
there.
didn't know what the competo was and had like 80 just chilling.
Oh my gosh.
I
was
thought
like,
those
Sarah, what? What is this?
I legitimately thought those were the same demon throwing beans. Crumbs.
So you're just stocking up. All right.
I mean, I still have like 1,200 of the demon beans just chilling in the inventory. So
You can
hi.
use
Not
those
until like February.
You can still use them.
I
by the
don't
way.
remember which button to click for them, so they're just sitting there. So yeah, I'm bad when there's collecting things. Yeah. Hi.
Lexi and Sarah, did you manage to get the sunflower background?
Mine's coming home tomorrow. I think I'm only short one potato. A single potato.
That
The
was-
one that I couldn't grasp. I couldn't grasp this single potato. But tomorrow is the day.
But the sunflower one, you brought home the sunflower one, right? From the summer.
The sunflower one is the reason I didn't get my bunny one. It's okay.
Whoops.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It all works out in the end. It's just a background, I say. Nagasone would have looked great with that background.
He looks pretty in the sunflowers. It goes along with
Nagasone
the
looks
custard.
really nice with the backlit fall leaves, so you're fine.
Nagasone looks good with everything. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. Next year
He
will
needs to be
come.
fined.
And you, Sarah?
So given the fact that I haven't touched Touken number for a while, nope, kind of like non-existent right now in the spectrum of like the fangirling over playing and like the wallpapers and stuff like that. I'm just kind of like here.
You just like the pretty boys.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the groove back, but everything's just life is wrecking my butthole.
Yeah.
That is me with so much. Understand completely.
Just a little background on Sarah. She's in like pre-med
She's in
and
senior
nursing
mode.
and stuff. You're taking tons of biology and fun classes as a senior, so Sarah's
Yeah,
on the struggle bus of the medical route.
yeah.
So classes take precedence when it comes to that, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So in between UTC going on and the current event, which we'll get into in a little bit, we had about a week or two.
Maybe at 2 weeks.
It was about 2 weeks. I think it was supposed to be about a week, and then they
Maybe a week
extended
and a
it
half.
again. Understandably so. This current event is huge. We had for about the first week we had an experience boost campaign, so you got times 2 EXP from all battles and times 5 against Kebishi. So
Quick
all of
on
us
that
went.
real quick.
Mhm.
Because that was supposed to just last for a week. They're like, okay, until maintenance the next Tuesday. We're like, okay, great, new event next Tuesday. And then the maintenance hit and they're like, oh, haha, just kidding. It's back.
Yep.
For an extended amount of time. But there was no end date on it.
Okay, so it was kind of like here it's gonna end whenever the event gets put into place. Yeah, it was like whenever the event comes. Yep.
They're like, this is all in preparation.
So
when the event comes, you won't have it anymore, and that's all you know. So that's
we worried.
Yeah, it kind
so
of
much worry.
Yeah, considering they extended the experience boost campaign, added on 0 repair cost campaign. That's worrisome. And internal affairs +1 campaign. Hooray! I max Akita out. Not Akita. Hakuta. Hakuta has complete max stats now. Thank you, campaign. That campaign is one of probably the Nitro Demon's rarest campaigns that they do for Touken Rambu. Because no matter where you're gonna send them, like out, you're gonna get a +1. You're not gonna come home with a nothing. and waste 24 hours sending your boys out to hopefully max their HP or their scouting stat out, because that's the only way you can do it, is field work. So yeah, it's a struggle if you want to max all your swords out. And that was nice. And I didn't notice I had maxed Hakata out, and I had no idea how long he'd been sitting there with max stats. And I was like, oh no. This is bad.
Oh,
But yeah,
notice me.
I knew a lot of people on the Touken Wiki were like Touken Wiki Discord were running like 7-4 and everything. And I'm just like, I'm over here running 6-4 happily, not wasting any resources. And hoping to get mustard tips, Nagasone baby, and maybe a possible Nihongo drop for some Rambu levels. Because I wasn't touching 7-4. I did actually touch it. And I managed, because of how my swords are, like I mentioned, their scouting's maxed. Which means, guess what shows up, Sarah? Short shows up. I made it.
Scooty. Ow! Oh my
But-
god.
But I didn't make it. I made it, but Sayo was my captain, and he got poked red to the side.
No.
So I didn't get a sword drop,
No, honey.
but I made it.
I mean, congrats on getting through the devil's short route. Whew.
And they were only level 58 Kiwame. So don't do that, guys. It's death. You
Please
need
take
pretty
long
much
route. Long route's nice. Long route's a good little
Medium's-
stroll through 7-4.
medium's fine too. Like I've run medium, but I have to like take off like 2 Kiwame Tanto. I can only run it with 4. So that they lose a lot of troopies. Because their chances of getting whacked are a little higher because they don't have all 6. But yeah, don't run 7-4 short without Kiwame Tanto level 80 or higher. Because you're not going to make it. And you're still gonna make it, but you're gonna cry. Because you're still
Yeah,
gonna lose
Maybe
troops.
this time next year I'll be able to do that.
I still can't. And
Y'all
I've been
can-
doing this game for 2 years, almost at this point. But yeah.
I don't want to touch 7-4, but I forgot to unlock that recollection. I cry. I don't want to go back to 7-3 either, but those are the... No, I'm not ready.
Yeah. Good luck with those Era 7 recollections. For
I
any of
got
you,
7-1 and 7-2.
That's
For those-
mainly why I haven't gone back to the Era 7 in a while. It's because I'm waiting to get certain boys into a proper level for that.
Here, I'm gonna give a nice hint to those of you listening. For those of you who probably have no idea what we're talking about, the recollections for Era 7 involve the Dategumi plus Kazen and
Plus
Sayo.
Kazen and Sayo.
Because of Hosokawa. If you watch Akatsuki,
Touken.
you'll understand. You'll totally Akatsuki is literally just the plot of the Era 7 recollections. I'm sorry. Sort of. Some bits of it are.
Pretty much.
Make sure that if your boys aren't Kiwame, though a handful of them have Kiwame forms, please have them level 9. It's 99, especially Shokurai Kyuri and Surumaru, because they will die very easily in Era 7 because they are not well sorted for urban maps.
No, not at all. No.
And then some of them are night.
They're the only ones who don't have a Kiwi for because Tachi of the required blades. And you're just sitting here like, you're getting poked so much. Stop.
Also, make sure that I know there's a couple of recollections in Era 7 too, the map that Taikogane Sanamune drops on. There are some, like, 1 or 2 recollections in that era that don't require him to be on your team. Have him on your team anyways, because he gives you a shortcut to get to the boss node. So, have fun, guys. Those are evil. They're really evil, and I don't know why they did this.
So if you need a yelling partner, feel free to drop onto our Discord and join us and scream because
Yep.
yeah. Because we
Yeah.
like screaming with other people who know our pain.
Yeah, I had to drop leveling certain swords up to level Sudomaru up because I was like, I need those recollections, and he's level 60 something. He's gonna die. He needs to be level 99. So yeah. Anyways, anyone have any notes before we get into anything they want to say before we get into the new event that I'm going to probably lose my voice after talking about it?
I was just filled with all this concern leading up to it because of that kind of thing, especially after recently watching Hiden. And eventually we'll do that whole review and you'll understand why. If people don't understand why yet, then go find Hiden. Yeah, I just so many things to cause concern. And I think it was every other day or maybe every day I was messaging someone and being like, but guys, it's just not gonna be okay. What do I do?
Yep.
Yeah, it was worrisome to many of us.
Still have 20 minutes. But on a side note, I haven't seen Mr. Kabishi in a while. If anyone knows where he is, tell him that he missed our lunch date the other day.
Aw.
Yeah, but that's it.
We'll send them.
If anyone sees him, just make sure to pass on a message.
Will do. I'll tell him the next time I run 3-4. Well, 3-2. My bad.
You're
All
not
right.
wanted here. Go home. Your lunch crew is waiting.
Yes.
You can quit poking the baby bubble bean who's very low leveled and currently being babysat by all the other Kiwis who are very confused why there is a non-Kiwi on the team.
All right. So, here's where Marissa loses her voice. So we recently, there was a lot of teasers for this current event, and it's been pushed back a lot, understandably so. So the current event that is ongoing right now is the special investigation Jurakutei. All right, let me get my notes because boy howdy, is it a lot. So this is a brand spanking new event, and it doesn't follow any previous conventions for other events. So hold your butts while I go over all the information because it's going to be a massive amount of information overload. If you want a better explanation with more visuals, because I know I am a visual person, you can always go to the Touken Rambu wiki and look it up there. They have a really good guide. I'm pretty much going to word vomit everything that's on there and add some of my own input from playing through the event for the past couple of days. All right, so because Jurakutei is a very different event, and there's a possibility that the event will span over a long period of time, your first team cannot be sent out. So you have to send out team 2, 3, or 4 to do this event because your swords will be stuck out on this map until you either bring them back home or you land on a boss node and can bring them back other ways. So, unfortunately, in addition, swords whose team is currently in the event will not be able to do the following activities: cannot send them on sorties for normal maps, cannot go on expeditions, rip my heart, cannot be participate in PvP, you cannot change their team formation, cannot dismantle, repair, send them to the refinery, or do anything with Rambu level. So you really can't do anything with these swords if they are stuck in the Jurakutei map. This is because your main source of movement in the game is you roll a dice. You're rolling a 7-sided die, and use the die that is on hand, and it will add to your action counter according to the number on the die displayed. You only get 2 die, so you're gonna get about 4 die a day. So every time, like the daily things reset, you get a completely new set of dice. It does it at your usual resetting times. It does it twice. I know it's like 4 o'clock here. It'll be eventually 3 o'clock. So, yep, everyone who probably
It,
plays this game knows their
it
usual reset time. You know
yeah,
it
it'll
in
reset at 5 p.m. and a.m. Japanese Standard Time.
That was it.
So whatever that is for whatever time zone you are in, you probably have a good idea of that if you've been playing Touken for a while. I will be continuing to update the Twitter based on Eastern Standard Time, EST. So if that helps for those listeners, keep an eye out for that too.
Yep. Since all of us here except Jesi are Eastern Standard Time, so that's how we kind of go off things. But for just this, that's the Japanese Standard Time. So you move every single node along. So every time you move a node, you consume 1 on your action counter. So, however, there is a way to roll more than 2 die, and that is by the lucky 7 die. It's in place of a normal die, and it adds to your action counter. If I look correctly, you can get them through some of the missions acquired, but I think they happen at like 200 enemies and after 300 enemies. But they can be bought in the store. For those of you who want to spend money on this event, I know many of us here are not going to spend money on this event if we can't help it. But I know some people that have already gotten 2 of our wonderful event sword, who we will actually not name. It's kind of a big old surprise. All right. So, unfortunately, unlike most events with pass-related stuff, you cannot use Koban to replenish the die. Womp, 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 womp. Rip my heart to pieces. Thanks, DMM. So, with the exception of the start node and the Citadel node, which are like the first 2 nodes, it is possible to return to any node that you stepped on before while moving around the map. And even if the node, you've already cleared it, stepping on it will trigger the event again. So, the certain types of nodes that we have throughout is double EXP, which is represented by the yellow node that you're going to step on. Recovery, which is blue. And then you have a couple of other nodes, like your regular enemy and then your boss node. And then you have a final boss node. Rain. I have a lot of text here. So right after you beat a regular boss, your team will be allowed to return to the Citadel while keeping the action counter at the time. This allows you to go back without wasting your previous roll numbers, so you can go change your formation, feel like, hey, my swords are injured, I'm going to go heal them, or I'm going to change them up because it's not working right now. And the team that comes back in this condition will not have their activities in the Citadel restricted. So if you want to go do PvP with them, go do other things, go do that. And
The bosses, right?
yes, the boss nodes.
So you're going through this map in the different sections. And
there are 3 different sections.
Okay. So
yeah.
each boss, I've only gotten to two sections. Mm-hmm. But each boss unit has a different unit name. And it kind of cracks me up, and I'm very excited to see what the 3rd unit name is, to see what it says. But the first section's boss unit is the Retrograde Political Education Unit. So we've got this group of teachers taking out their failing students. And it's great, because every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, then they run into the Touken Danchis, right? And they're like, okay, guys, this is what happens when you fail. And yeah. Then you get to the second map section, and that unit, we have the Retrograde Oppression Unit. For whatever reason, oppression equals telemarketers to some people. So we have the educators and the telemarketers. And, well, they're certainly getting more human-like, I guess, is one way to put that. So let's see what we've got in Section 3, shall we?
Gosh. But for those of you who've been playing it, if you notice, once you clear all of the nodes in a section, the clouds over to the left will go away and reveal the next section. You have to clear all of the nodes in the previous section to move onward. And when you hit the final boss node, you will be ranked. And if you somehow, I don't know how, don't kill any enemies, don't ask how, you fail. But if you beat between 1 and 299, you'll get a good ranking, which is fine. Go back and replay the map again. Your goal essentially is to beat 300 enemies. And once you beat 300 enemies, you go hit that boss node, and you get our lovely event sword, who we're going to call Mr. Y. And that's all we're going to call him because he's still very new. If you want to go spoil yourself, you're welcome to do so. But for those who haven't, we don't want to spoil you. It's very different than some of the other swords that they have revealed. But Mr. Y is the creepy hooded figure that you are going up against. And you will get recollections throughout the events as well. Speaking on that, because that was a recent topic that got brought up, you will unlock recollections throughout the event by just progressing, and Mr. Y will show up. Or sometimes if you have Mamba on your team, he will interact with Mamba. But once you beat the game, if you don't have all the recollections, no worries, they'll show up anyways. So once you actually beat the game, all the recollections will be available for you, even if you don't unlock them throughout the event. So, yep. And if you beat the event and you currently do not have Kiwame Yamamba Giri Kurihiro, no worries. If you eventually send him out for Kiwame training and he comes back, those recollections will be unlocked for you. So, nice little new thing. This one is very new and it's very big. Also, no worries. You do not need to beat the event in one full run. You don't have to like wander around sections trying to get enough enemies to defeat. Your total sum of enemies will continue to be counted when you re-enter the map. Also, there are prizes and rewards for hitting the boss node a certain amount of times. If I am correct, well, the latest one is hitting the boss node 20 times. That's going to be difficult, but it might be possible without spending money, but yeah. So because of the fact that you're going to be keeping your swords in the Jurakutei investigation for a long time, they can get hurt, but you can't heal them. So one way is to use the dried chestnuts. I think they give you one. There might be a couple of ways to get them through the missions. No worries. If you need to, you can actually retreat. Your team will return to the Citadel, but your action counter will go back down to 0. So if you rolled like a really nice 7 and you only moved about 2 or 3 times, those remaining numbers you will lose. And the next time that you go back in, you will land at the last returning point. So, yep. I think Jesi did something along these lines, so you know those a little bit better. But there is a way. If you've done using your rolls, you can suspend your investigation. You will go back to the Citadel, and you'll preserve everything, but you can't use them. That's the bottom button. Hit that. Right now, I'm not having too much of a problem with the event with Pokey Pokey, but I have an entire team of Kiwame Uchigatana. So, but also a side note, even though it kind of is a bit of a pass event, swords and troops that will have been destroyed will not recover. So please do not continue trying to press on when one of your swords is in the red. It will break, and you will not get it back. So make sure that you be careful with this event. It's very different. For those of you who are worried about getting Mr. Y, I have just reached the Jurakutei Citadel, which is the third area. I have yet to hit the boss node, and I've already killed about 140 enemies. But RNG was nice to me today, so we will see. I know RNG was not nice to certain somebody.
I think a lot of people expressed a bit of concern about that too, because on the official Twitter, they were like, "Hey, if you're concerned about getting to 300 enemies defeated,
Not hard.
all you have to do is go against one of the six, what's it called? The standard units that have the 6 enemies, right? You can just bounce back and forth between node and one of those 50 times.
Yep.
They're like, just do that 50 times. And you'll get 300.
Also, this is not a normal event length. It is not even a regiment event length. I think it's almost about a month.
Yeah.
It's about 3 weeks. So it's regiment event length or so. So you have 3 weeks to do this. Also, if you go roll your die. If you're at work, go roll your die. Even if you can't go and do your actions, roll them. And then just leave. Your action counter will stay. Just hit the suspend action button. But the bottom one, like when you open your menu, hit the bottom right. Hit it. And then you can go back and do all of your actions later in the day when you come home, say like you have work or class, and you come back, just come back and do all of them in one swell swoop. So you don't waste those die, because unlike the passes, sometimes I've been like, darn, I forgot to use 2 or one of my passes. Oh no, Koban. You can't with this one. Once you lose it, you lose it. So
it's really obnoxious considering how much, like, I know me and at least one other person who's on our Discord, we were talking about it. It's like, we worked so hard to bring home all this Koban, and yet we can't use any of it.
Was that Rose?
Time government, why? It's my money and I want to use it how I want to. Let me use it.
Jesi, was that with Rose?
Yeah, it was with
Rose.
I
thought. I'll usually wake up and there's like an entire conversation with you two, and I'm like, oh, I missed stuff.
Yeah, Rose is a lot of fun to talk with because for whatever reason, she's a night owl like Sarah used to be at school.
I feel attacked right now.
But I will say I love and hate this event. It is doable. It is actually doable because I'm almost about halfway done, give or take, almost close to it, with getting the amount of enemies killed, so I can get the event sword. I'll probably have to hit the boss node and then make my way back through it again, but I made my way through it in like, what, 3 days? Almost. At the same time, it's doable, but it sucks because you're just sitting there like, I'm gonna roll my die. Damn it, it's a 2. Okay. I'll roll my die again. It's a 3. And then today it was like 6, 6, and I'm like, where did you come from? I got like 2 1s in a row and other things, and I'm just like, so it really, it is also up to your dice rolls. Like, you could have like freaking outstanding dice rolls and manage to get through the event really quickly, or you could be poor Sarah, who's still stuck in area 1 because of 1s.
I'm screaming. This is fine.
But you're past that. Didn't you make it into area 3?
Are you in every?
I am sitting in area 2.
Oh, you made area 3, yeah.
And going nowhere very fast because I did not realize the fact that you had to do all the nodes before you went anywhere. So I kind of did the usual thing where you just kind of try to get to the bosses fast, so I had to backtrack. And all the enemies I'm going against, their units are only 2 or 3 people. So I'm just kind of like, I am here And I have only done 80-something enemies. Why? Why? What is all these ones for? Make it stop.
Haven't heard from Lexi or Sarah in a little while. How what is your take on this event?
I I really like the event. I think it's pretty neat. Um I my first time running it, well, first time as in, like when I did the first part of it, I was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put all these Kiwis that I don't normally, like, send out into battle. Naki, Soza, the kids that kind of I sent out and was super proud of them, and then kind of like they just sort of like sit and stare at the wall. And I was like, okay, you guys are gonna go outside and have some fun. Have fun, kids. And I had Nagasone as my captain because it's me. And I was like, okay, we're gonna go outside and have fun. And then it was like, oh, by the way, don't forget that your like first anniversary as a Soniwa is coming up soon. That's pretty neat. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is true. Wait a second. But Nagasone's out on the mission, then he's not gonna be able to greet me when it's my Soniwa birthday. That's really sad. So once I completed the first section, I was like, okay, we need a new captain. And Iwatoshi was just kind of staring at me like, hey, it should be my turn. I want to be captain. So now he's captain. He is having a lot of fun.
But for those of you who are worried about levels, this is really easy so far. Because I forgot to mention this. It was a small little side note. There's so many aspects of this event. Brain. Once you hit 300 enemies and you hit that boss node, the map changes again. Because currently, right now, what you see as you're going through, that's what your map's going to be like. And then it changes. And the enemies apparently get stronger. So, yeah. I don't know how strong. We'll see. But essentially your map will reset itself. And you have to hit all the nodes again afterwards, I think. So, but yeah. Hooray for this new event. I like the new style with the fact that there's plot involved in this event, which is really nice. The recollections, and all of that is really cool. But the progress is very slow. So yeah.
It's very slow.
But
It
it allows you to play the event and do normal level grinding on other teams at the same time. Unlike UTC and DOT and Regiment and we're training expansion and Dongo Bunnies, like all these other events, you like focus on the event if you want this stuff. This one's like, hey, roll your die, do your actions, takes a couple minutes, you're done. Go do the regular game. It's like, oh my gosh, I can try and get Hirano and Fudo dupes for Rambu levels at the same time while doing an event and not miss anything. This is a dream come true. Except you're using a team I would send out for expeditions. I am not happy. That I'm not happy about. So I had to change up my entire teams because I was sending them on resource expeditions to get coal, and my whetstone dropped below 50,000 K, and I was like,
You know, you
Wait.
say 50,000 K. I'm just over here.
No, drastically. I went from 50,000 to about 47,000 with a couple smiths, and I was like, nope.
Honey.
Nope. I know,
Honey,
you have like
no.
5,000. I weep for you. But I had to change my entire expedition thing for whetstone again, and I was like, I'm an unhappy person right now.
And thus we have the different types of Soniwas.
You see us rolling, we screaming.
have the title.
We forgot
Hi.
crying too.
You see it screaming, we crying. Oh.
Meow. I just want my resources. I want cold tummy. I don't want my Verb or my Toshi to get Rambu level 5, but they're so close.
That's the Sarah.
That's me with Pinky Dinky Doo, to be honest. He
Oh,
loves
he's
to
already
come home.
Oh yeah.
good. He's a good level 5 Rambu. He likes it. He's a good boy.
Yasa really likes being level 5 too. Y'all
Yeah,
should
he
play with
does.
sound, and you should really listen to the different things that they added in because it's really, really cute, actually.
I think I heard one of his
Yeah.
lines because Yasu's on my current find the Hirano and Fudo team.
He's hunting the Fifi and
Nope. I'm renaming it. These are not the Tonto you were looking for, team. Because I'm not finding the Tonto I'm looking for.
oh.
Ugh. I know. I could just smith them. I get it, people. I'm not doing that. I'm looking for Shizuka and he refuses to come home. My resources go to him. Then it'll go to other things. Again. But for now, I'm grinding 3-2 with a full Kiwame Uchigatana team to get him. Multiple times. Because he's only Rabu level 2.
Yep.
Didn't get enough of him
But
during UTC.
the Rambu lines for level 5 though, I know they've been translated, not like the types of lines that there are. I don't know if the actual lines have been translated yet or not. But you get a new line for when you give them a horse. You give them a Mamori, one of the protective charms. I think there's another troop line.
I think
too.
so.
And
You
I
get
can't
like 3
remember
or
which
4.
level it is. Yeah. But you also get, when swords are done smithing, they let you know by voice. So you log into the main Citadel page, right? And they're like, oh, smithing's done. You want to go see? And it's really cute. And they sound so sweet when you give them the protective terms. They're like, oh, okay, I'll take hold of this. Thanks for thinking of me. And it's like, oh, you're welcome. So yeah, give them all a listen. The voice actors do a fantastic job. Go love your boys even more.
All right. Is there any other bits about Jurakutei that anyone wants to make mention of, or anything that has happened to them within Touken Ranbu this month that we haven't touched on within the events and campaigns? I'm good.
I got 2 Kiwi.
You did.
Oh.
Who'd you send out again?
Hakata and Shinano.
Congratulations. 2 more.
I'm very happy that they have gone and come back. I wanted to try and send out Nagasone before my Saniwa birthday, where I turn a grand total of a whole year old. But he is level 85, and he is not doing the event because I want him to be there when I turn 1. It's not our 1-year wedding anniversary, and the wedding is when he came home because he was being ungrateful until I expanded my sword slots. But you know what? It's still a memorable time for us.
I think it was it Sarah that sent out Monoyoshi?
I sent out Mono and Hirano, so I have those 2 happy Kiwi Babs who I'm getting to throw swords to Nom Nom on right now.
Yes.
It's fun.
Good. Hirano
I,
is best Kiwame Tanto. This is not a bias. This is actually a fact. He has the best stats of all of the Kiwame Tanto. He MVP stills way too many times.
Oof.
He's a good
But
boy. He's a good boy.
at least he'll level up fast then because he's
yeah.
the baby. He's the baby of the Kiwis, and it's a sad fate right now.
I think I sent him out like 3rd or like he was one of like my first 5 that I sent out. Because I know it was Gokotai, then Sayo, and then I might have been. But Gokotai was MVP stealer forever, and then all of a sudden Hirano was just like, nah, bitch, step out. And him and Goto are like, nah, Gokotai. Gokotai's just like, save me, I just keep getting poked, and you're so cute. And then I hit orange, and then I make you want to cry.
I mean, aesthetically wise, amazing. And I'm like, I can't think of another Tonto that's aesthetically.
Gokutai is precious. He was my second Kiwi. And he was only second because Atsushi was my first, and at the time I didn't know you could tell them to go later. So
I remember that.
Atsushi went, and he's happy. He was happy to send out first. But I really like Gokutai. He's one of my top Kiwis.
Right? I mean, that giant tiger, you guys.
Oh my god,
And the
it's
Right.
so pretty.
His gorgeous eyes.
I
Come
know.
on.
And then
Hands down.
when he awakens, that tiger just gets all flammy and arg in his face.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh my gosh. But it hurts me so bad. Some of the Kiwame Tonto's sprites, when they get injured in orange, make me want to cry. Gokotai is one of them. Goto is another one that's just like, ouch, I'm on the ground hurt. And you're like, please stop. No.
Yeah, Yasu. Baby, stop.
They all need blankets when they get injured because it's just like, honey,
Fudo?
you're so
Fudo too?
naked. Help.
Yeah.
We're not touching Chi-Chi, though. He's not a Tonto. So Chi-Chi's over there doing his own thing. But all the Tontos, though, they just need blankets and protecting, and no. Just no.
Yeah.
Any other Kiwames for people?
I actually have 3 new Kiwis.
Who do you have?
I have Yagen, Imano, and Mono. So
yeah.
Yagen, Imano, Tsurugi, and Monoyoshi. And the thing with Monoyoshi and Yagen, I am building a team of low level Kiwis to go hunting for a certain Wakizashi hiding in a Kebishi lower level map. And I was hoping Imano Tsurugi wouldn't be too high of a level, but it came back level 32. Ooh, I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. But yeah, so Yagen and Monoyoshi are my lowest level Kiwame swords at level 2. So they're having fun being fed and waiting. And I'm going to have a lot of fun giving them XP later on. Because I know the Kiwi struggle is. But I mean, I did it with Yazuzada, that I can do it again. Yeah, they're really good boys. And Sosa's really happy that Yagen is now Kiwi with him. So that's good.
All right. Does anyone else have any event, like any progress that they've made within the game so far this month? Nope. Everyone's mentioned everything. All right. Because as per usual me, I don't send Kiwis out anymore, and I don't level things up very much anymore because...
Your Master Sword?
Yeah.
Master Sword is Master Sword.
It's gonna be really funny once I actually get Shizuka, because I'm gonna tell you how far that boy gets just eating Campeto. Like,
Ooh.
that'll be fun. I have over 100 Campeto at this point, thanks to the sending swords out for daily duties, and from hitting Rambu level 4 for a handful of the swords, you do get 3 Campeto by hitting that. And I wasted some of them on Kiwi Yagen a little bit, but then I was like, what is the point of me feeding a level 55 Kiwame? Like, it's not gonna do anything. So I just held on to them. There were a handful that I did feed to, like Kenshin and Chiopio and Koryu back when I was still leveling them up. So now I still have over about 100 Kampeito. So we'll see about that. So before we move on to anything else, along with Jurakutei, they announced on their Twitter the upcoming updates and events that we are going to have until December. So mid-November through early December. So after Jurakutei ends, everyone's favorite Village of Treasures will be coming back.
Please, no. Please.
Why?
I
Or card
don't want
curse.
it.
What's
But-
an instrument?
What is an instrument and for card curse returns? Yes. And we are finally getting music for our wonderful Tantos. So, but for some odd reason, it's only Imano Tsurugi and Goto? I'm confused about that.
Why not?
But okay, I guess they're...
Dartboard.
I can understand Imano Tsurugi. He's been in the game since the beginning, and he is Tanto in line of, like, numbers. So, maybe. So those two will be getting background musics. They will probably only require the 3 basic music instruments, so you don't have to worry about those obnoxious Taiko and Suzu. Curse those bells.
Watch, you have just jinxed it.
Well, if you kind of look, it's mostly
Bells.
like the Uchigatanas and up that require them. The Wakis and the Wakis haven't. No, it's Tachis and up, because Uchigatanas required regulars. Because when Wakizashis came out, they only required the 3 basic instruments. It didn't require those. So we'll see. We don't know. Hopefully. But a new sword will be showing up.
New
So
sword!
yay! Well, I wonder what it's going to be. No idea. And in December, Odachi Kiwame? What happened to Shoku Kiwame? I'm very upset, but I know Sarah's very happy.
I need this in my life. And if they do dare to put the Sinking Firefly or the Otachi Tachi brothers before Ishikirimaru, I will scream and cry and do summoning circles. Ha!
Oh gosh.
Welcome to my TED Talk. Hi.
I have a feeling he's probably going to be the first because he is Mr. Slow Loris over there.
Okay.
He's probably
trying,
the worst
man.
out of all of the Odachis.
He's trying. He has spiritual issues.
Oh goodness. But
spiritual issues.
so
That's amazing.
those 4 will be getting Kiwame forms, and in December, at the end of the year, it'll probably go in through January, as it usually does. We'll be getting Regiment Battle 4 along with the brand new sword. So I'm a little confused as to why we literally jumped over Tachis and went straight to Odachis. But thinking about it, the other, like the Odachis and your Naginatas and your Yaris, how many are there? 4, 3, and 2. 3. There's not very many.
4, 3, and 3.
4, 3, and 3. So I have a feeling that they're gonna do them first, and then go back to the Tachis, which are like just as much as the Uchikatanas. So
More than I think.
more than I think actually too. I think they have the most amount. Either that or the Tontos, but yeah, it's either probably gonna be Odachi, then Yari, and then maybe like Iwatoshi, and then we go to the Tachi, and then we fill in the gaps. But we'll see. I'm really confused why they skipped over Tachi. I knew a lot of people after Mamba got released, everyone was like, Tachiwame, 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 Shoku's gonna be usable again. It's gonna be good. And then it was like, no. It's like, well, Ishikirimaru will be usable again.
I still use him. He doesn't happen often, but I'll use him.
He's level 99 for me, so
He
hard.
was in the 80s. None of my Odachis are maxed yet. They're
Oh, they
working
like-
on it.
they like
All
to
of
max once they
mine.
get higher.
Actually, no, that's a lie. Hotarumaru is
Course.
maxed out.
I thought
Um,
Hotaru Maru was maxed out because of Regiment.
That happened this summer, yeah. But
But yeah, so look out for those events coming up in the upcoming months.
And
Yeah.
those extreme screams whenever they do come up.
Yep. Speaking of
What?
upcoming events, I'm gonna make mention of this now. I'll make mention of it again later because that was just reminding me. I know this is coming at a weird point, but we will not be having a podcast in November because of the holiday season plus exams. It's the end of November and beginning of December is a really busy time for all of us. So we'll be probably, hopefully not dying. We'll be covering November stuff in December as well. So you won't have a podcast from us until December, January time. So sorry for that. Thank you, Lexi, for reminding me. You want my Hyuga little theory about Regiment? Is that what you were talking about?
Just in general, like,
Yeah.
go back to when I first started, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, there's a little boy. His name's Hugo," and I'm like, "Oh, look, he's pretty cute." And then, like, he fell off the face of the earth, and we never heard from him again, unless you have him, of course. Like, where'd he go? Is he all right? We already had
Where
2
did you
events
come
with
from?
Nansen, but we haven't seen him.
Where did you come from?
Goodness.
Yeah, no. He's stuck in event sword hell at the moment.
Yeah, with Chiyo and Yanzen and Nyan Nyan. Like, there's a handful of swords that are probably going to be event only for a while. But I have a possible theory because he came in Regiment last year during December, and we're getting a regiment. We always get 2 regiments a year. We get one December, January time, and then we get one in the middle of the summer. And he came in December, which is why Lexi started the game because her anniversary is in November. And then not Kenjin, Hugo showed up. Sorry, I saw Sarah post something about Kenjin earlier. Brain. Hugo showed
Love
up.
you.
They're both Tachis that don't want to come home.
Montos?
Antos, what is with my brain right now?
They're both Tontos that don't want to come home.
They're both Tantos that
That's
don't
all.
want to come home. They're swords.
They're special boys.
They're special boys. I just keep getting all these Tachis. I think that's why. Like, my brain's on, like, Tachis. But despite the fact, because he was a brand new sword for Regiment last year in December, but we're getting a new sword in this regiment. Maybe he's going to be the sword that drops a lot, or possibly has a drop rate on the 4th event map. Maybe we'll see. I don't know, because that new sword's going to be the big event sword that requires you to get 100,000 whatevers to get. And it's not going to be Hyuga, because it was Hyuga last year. But yeah,
We'll see.
we will see. We will see what happens to Kashu's little brother. Kashu's shopping buddy. But
That's beautiful. Thank you.
but speaking of shopping buddies, in recent news when it comes to merchandise, Honeybombie's Nindroid actually is available for pre-order. You can get it through, like, I think Animate's website, Ami and stuff. Other websites if you want to get it through. But if you actually pre-order it through Good Smile's website, you get like a bonus rubber strap. This happens for all of their Nindroids when they release them. If you pre-order, you get a little pre-order bonus. So if you want that, comes with him. His brother is right behind him, so no worries, guys. But that is it when it comes to kind of like game stuff. So we're gonna start moving into real life stuff. So we're gonna segue into once again, just for letting you guys know, the Swords of Kyoto event is going on at the Kyoto National Museum, running through around the end of November on the 25th. This is the second stage. So there's some newer swords that weren't out in the first half. But there was a couple swords that were in both. Jesi, if you wanna, I'm gonna segue into you and let you talk a little bit more about your experience.
Woof. All right.
that.
So, yeah, so the event started September 29th, and this past week, at the end of October, they switched out the limited time swords. So before they had, say, Souza on display, while this next round they have Ishikirimaru on display. And there's some other swords that got changed out too. For the full list of that, you can visit the website. I don't have that on me. But I had the pleasure of going to this exhibit last weekend? The weekend before.
Weekend before, I believe.
Weekend before, yeah. It was the weekend before. And holy cow, it was amazing. They had so many of the cutouts and the boys in picture form there. You could get an audio walkthrough of the exhibit with your choice of one of 4 of the sword boys. You could get Kazuki, Sengo, Gokotai. What's the other one?
Mika?
I'm bad for forgetting. I said Mika. Was it Hiza?
It might have been Hiza. I think you said Hiza.
Okay. And but that was $10 extra. And I didn't really want any of them telling me about the swords. Thinking about how they sounded, I was like, yeah, great. Let me have Mika's laugh throughout the entire thing. That's okay. But there were 3 different floors, and you could walk through and see them all. You could stand in line to get up super close to some of the blades. There were 4 different ones that you could actually like walk around this individually placed mini podium thing cased in plexiglass, where you could see all the way around the blade, and you could see just how thin some of them were, which really astounded me. For the Tachis, I thought they would be thicker, but no, they're actually quite long and thin. And the curves for all of them are different for each single blade. And to see the different styles that span throughout the millennia, essentially, as they had swords like Mikazuki from the 12th century, and various other Sanjo blades that have no names, and you're like, I only want to know more about these unnamed swords because they're beautiful too. And seeing all of these different things, one of the things that really struck me was that despite all of the different curves for the Tachis and the Uchigatanas too, there was one sword that was nearly completely straight and flat, and that was Mutsunokami Yoshiyuki. And I just think it really struck me. I was like, that is a really flat blade, considering all of the ones that we've seen. And it was really cool. There was one thing that I did see, because I took my friend with me, Dama-chan. She's been a weapon enthusiast for years, but she hasn't fallen down the Touken Rambu hole just yet. But she's on the precipice. I'm about to knock her down there, I think. With
Good.
love. She deserves it. She will thoroughly enjoy it too.
Oh yeah,
And
she
it was
will.
really nice because she appreciated my outbursts for being like, oh my gosh, but this sword has so much history. Let me tell you about it. And so she, I think, was able to take some of that and gain a little bit of interest into it too. But we got to see the Muramasa blade, which is Sengo Muramasa. And Sengo has a really short, awkward tang. And you're like, okay, why is it shaped differently than the others? And so she looks at it, and then she just goes, with a tang that short, it's gotta be unbalanced. And so instantly my head gives me Sengo's laugh and just a Nugi Mashoka. And I'm like, well, she's not wrong. Thanks animators and creators of Touken for giving him an unbalanced feel because
But for those of you who don't know what a tang is, it's the bit underneath the hilt of the sword. So it's where the hilt attaches to the blade without messing up the blade bit. So usually it's not a very pretty piece, but sometimes there'll be like the inscriptions of the swordsmith on it, or in Soza's case, that lovely brand that Oda Nobunaga gave him.
yep.
Yeah, or in
And
Kiko's case, you have a chrysanthemum. So there's a handful of things that you can find on the tangs of swords.
Right. A lot of them have, like you said, the swordsmith's inscription. Soza's was really fascinating. Because he had it on he had both of them on both sides of the tang instead of just on one. And you could see that where they had him placed. And it gave me a newfound appreciation for Soza as a blade. I will say that. The Genji blades were also really gorgeous to see. There were 3 swords that I did not see up close. I feel a little bad because I kind of wanted to see Gokotai, but the line was super long, and we were running short on time because we had buses and trains to catch to get back to our places a little bit further away. So I didn't see Gokotai, Nakigitsune, or Kasen. Unfortunately. But there was one blade that I forgot that would be on display that I was legitimately surprised by because the size of it just shocked me entirely. And that was Jirotachi. And Jirotachi is an Otachi, as most of us know by now, I hope. And they have that dip in the blade that goes all the way up it. My friend called it a blood dip, I think.
Blood groove.
Blood groove. That one. Thank you.
Allows
I
the
was
blood
close.
to drip down it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And in that blood groove is this really bold red stripe. And it just, the color of it really surprised me. Any of the other swords that I saw, they didn't have any color to them. But this beautiful Otachi with this really long red stripe just all the way up it was like, oh wow. And then to think about his character design and to see that put into it was fascinating. So that really surprised me. Kenshin Kagemitsu is also a beautiful Tonto. All of the Tontos have their different widths too, which was really cool to see because some of them are a lot smaller than others. And then you have ones like Hocho that are actually really thick that look like a kitchen knife. You're like, oh, okay, I see now. Yeah.
Hocho's
So
really thick
Hocho,
blade. Atsushi
yeah.
is, and Shinano. They're really, and Yagen. I think if I recall, Yagen technically would have been, but yeah, Yagen's kind of gone. Yagen.
But
Yeah.
that was fascinating to see too. And it also made me really appreciate how they handled them into the game as well. They had the Tontos on the lower portion. And after coming down from seeing all of the different Tachis, you're seeing all these small blades and how they glint in the light and everything. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're actually really cute. Like these little knives. They're kind of precious looking, and I'm confused. And then to see how they put that into the game and everything. And it was just a really, really exciting experience. And I have so much need for more swords in Touken, and may Touken never die. Because there are Hasebe siblings, and I need to see what Heshi would do if he were to ever get one at the Citadel.
Or the Kuninaga.
Or the Kuninaga! Oh my gosh, the Troll Crane family member. Like, please. They also had a ton of swords that weren't in Touken that were just gorgeous to see as well. Some various Naginatas that are really tall, and spears that are just the spear tips, and you're like, wow, that's actually really small, but you work really well, but you're really cool. How do some of these? And it was just a really fascinating experience. So if you have the chance, go check out that exhibit while it's still going on and see what other swords they have coming up. Hige and Hita, yes. Did I miss anything from that?
I think you covered most everything. Well, Jesse also went and bought like all of us stuff.
Yeah, I went to the Touken Rambu Heaven store that was at nearby the main station in Kyoto, and that was really cool too. It was really small. It was a lot smaller than the one in Akihabara, but to be expected as a pop-up store in a mall. And they have so many different things. I brought home stickers for myself and various things for everyone else. And they had goods for Kiwame boys, and that you can't really find very easily in the normal stores. So I was very excited to get those too. It's very good that I didn't realize that they took Discover cards, or I would have definitely probably gone bankrupt myself. So, yeah, there's still a lot of things going on there. They still have the 2.5D cafe for the live and for the stage and musical goods, as well as themed meals, snacks, and whatnot, and displays there too. I got to see the collaboration train that they were doing a stamp rally with in part of Kyoto, a little further away from the museum. But it had Horikawa on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, Kazumi, my friend. I was like, look, that's from Touken Rambu. She's like, right, okay. It's like, yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about me. I'm kind of fallen down a dark hole, but it's okay. It's a lot of fun.
Granted, seeing anime characters on subway cars isn't out of the ordinary in Japan.
It really isn't, but for someone to like point it out, I don't think she was expecting it. It was really funny.
All right.
Yeah, so that's all I got.
So on the topic of sword history, I made mention last time that we're going to be bringing back our Behind the Blade section. So I'm going to hand it off to Sarah and let her cover one of the swords from the game and kind of go over the history and the cultural aspects involved with their design and their stuff like that. So go ahead, Sarah.
Okay, for Behind the Blade, we're going to be talking about Tomoegata Naginata. But first, we're going to be talking about the historical figure that actually influenced Tomoegata Naginata. So, the historical figure that we're going to be talking about is Tomoe Gozen. So, in the Heian period, or the 12th century, there was a famous female samurai who wielded both naginatas and tachis. She was a well-trained female samurai who was a member of the Genji clan, and it's said that she was sent out as a captain during the Genpei Wars. And during this time in Japanese history, women were educated to the samurai life just as men were. So when the husbands would leave off to war, the women would defend the homes from intruders and also sometimes even follow their husbands to war as well. And it is likely that the sword type's name is referred to Tomoegata Naginata because of Tomoe Gozen's valor, courage, and strength. So we're going to be taking like this bulk of information and plugging it into Tomoegata Naginata as the Touken Danshi in Touken Ranbu. So Tomoegata actually doesn't have any like personal history, like no specific owners that had him, no connections that he had with other swords. But the term Tomoegata Naginata is its own like term that's referred to the shape of style of naginatas. So by the time in the Edo period, naginatas were referred to as Tomoegata Naginatas, which is really interesting. So in the Edo period, naginatas were primarily used by women. So that's why you can see in the naginatas in Touken Ranbu, they have feminine attributes to their clothing, physicality, and demeanor. And that's really cool, and that shows how much dedication and detail that the artists put inside or put onto the Touken Danshi, because like, you know, the Touken Danshi are supposed to be ikemen or beautiful men, but they're also like living artifacts of history that hold so much information in general. Tomoegata Naginata doesn't have personal history, but he basically like represents the overarching history of Naginatas in general. Basically, a personification of the term Tomoegata Naginata. And as you could see in Tomoegata Naginata in the fifth musical or Musubi, there are plenty of times where Tomoegata questioned like why a storyless sword as himself would be a leader or the captain for this group of swords that were so involved with the Shinsengumi, who have so much relationships with other swords. But here he is, he's just questioning because he's like, I don't have that. But it's really good that they incorporated that part of the overarching history into Musubi. But overall, Tomoegata Naginata is a great sword who's basically a broad term personified into a token danshi. But that's it for Behind the Blade.
I think you covered Tomoe pretty well. One little small thing I will add, just teeny bit. It's more within Shizuka. Shizuka makes mention of the fact that he doesn't like Yari. Naginata's I'm gonna mix him in because there's not much. There's more on Tomoe than there is on Shizuka, but it affects Tomoe as well. Um, Shizuka, it's because Naginata were very heavily used on horseback, and when horseback fighting styles came out of use and more urban fightings happened, Yari took more precedence, and he doesn't much like that. But he loves wakizashis because the wakizashis used to be Naginatas, a lot of them. So they're his brethren. So small little funny tidbit about some of the Naginatas. But thank you so much, Sarah, on doing that wonderful research on Tomoe. We'll figure out who we're going to cover next time. We have about 2 months. So speaking since Sarah made mention of the musicals, we're going to transition into our live action stuff with musicals and stage plays. So I'm going to hand it off to Jesi, Lexi, and Sarah to all the information that has been going on with the musical world.
Oof. So the musical world just kind of had an explosion. But before we talk about the explosion, let us rejoice and celebrate because it has been 3 years. They just had their 3-year anniversary since the trial version of Atsukashiyama had its debut performance. And there's been a lot of rejoicing from various members throughout the week, and it's been really cool to see. So on sale October 31st, and now in my possession is the DVD and Blu-ray. Well, I got the DVD because I don't have a Blu-ray of Touken Rambu Hiden Yue no Me no Hototogisu, also known as Toast 4, or
AKA
the Plane of
Pain.
Death that can be buried and forgotten.
Hole. Nice deep hole.
Yeah.
We cover it up in for
Mm.
now, and we pretend we didn't see
cover
it
it,
yet because
bury
ow.
it, and we put a tree on top of it. And we thank
No,
Shosha.
we are not even
And
talking about
so-
trees. Trees are not safe even after that.
So also in the Hiden mode, we've got the soundtrack for it goes on sale later this month in November. It goes on sale the 28th. Some more gorgeous songs sprung from that. Songs that'll probably make at least a couple people cry when we hear them again. But
Nothing new there.
Nothing new there. Very well worth the listen. And very exciting on that end. We also got our first visual for the Touken Rambu movie, along with a release date set for January 18th in theaters in Japan. And with the fandom that Touken has, you never know, it may make it overseas. I have a feeling it will. I don't know where overseas that will happen yet, but
Paris.
just keep your eyes out. Paris, probably, yeah. Paris, various Asian countries around, considering they do
York,
that with the live streams.
LA.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I hope it'll go over there.
It only goes to like a couple of cities if it ever comes over to the US, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna go to New York because it's a big cultural hub, or LA. You do know people live in other states.
Yeah.
Like-
They need to get in. They need to get in touch with the people that do the anime movie releases, like with Funny and with the
Yeah.
others. I know there's another one too, but
'Cause they did
they'll
do a
bring them
movie
over
release.
and spread them around. So
they did-
maybe, and they've brought Sailor Moon over.
They did.
So
I was about to say.
why let's give the
Touken,
sword some
Touken.
love too. There's a market there, and I'm sure Crunchy sees that too. And so maybe something will
Petition to
happen.
Funimation to
Right.
do it.
It did.
Please.
It did take several months for them to bring Kimi no Na wa over, and maybe they'll do the same thing. They'll just give it some time and have to wait and see. But let your people know.
They got the Hero Academia movie like what 2 weeks after. I was like, dang. I was watching Hero Academia at the time, and I was like, the filler episode was a light little trailer and plug for the movie,
Yeah.
and the movie literally was coming out like the weekend of in Japan, and then it was like, hey, not even like a month or so later, it's like, hey, it's in theaters in the U.S. And I'm like, I'm gonna go see that. So there's a possibility we could get it. We don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna drop one bombshell, and then I'm gonna leave the last two for Sarah and Lexi to cover. But actually, well, yeah. So one bombshell. Kashu is no longer the only one going out on his own little solo tours. We will now have the Genji brothers, Higekiri and Hizamaru, having a duo deployment instead of a solo duet kind of thing. Yeah. And that'll be coming sometime in 2019. We don't have any dates for that, but it could be like Kashu's where they do it in the fall, is my general guess, but it could happen in the summer. The only thing that I know it won't happen in is January through March. And the reason being...
Sarah?
Mihotose! So, happy bubble of Mihotose getting another run. And the actors are overjoyed. I'm overjoyed. Most people are overjoyed who like Mihotose. If they don't like Mihotose, we're going to make them like Mihotose. Just saying.
What happened to Bakuten? I don't know. Hachiska's never gonna get his chance again, but it's okay.
Don't
Well,
worry,
they just had Musubi, so
Formation of Tokyo.
Hachi wasn't
Okay,
in
true.
Musubi.
Most of them were already in Musubi, besides like for Lexi's
Kensuke.
boy. For
Besides
the
Kensuke.
Kensuke. Besides Kensuke.
They do
And
him so
Kashu.
dirty. I'm sorry. Formation of Tokyo like the promotional poster for freaking Formation of Tokyo. I'm still a little bit salty, but I'm gonna refrain for right now because that's a completely different can of worms that I'm not gonna open.
But Mihotose love.
Mihotose.
Yeah. Good
It
kids,
has
good kids. I love them.
beautiful kids, wonderful kids. We love all of them, including certain other ones. They have already confirmed 4 different cities. Tokyo, which will have shows from January 20th to February 3rd. Osaka from February 8th to February 11th. Kyoto, February 17th to March 3rd. And Tokyo, which will have March 15th until March 24th. Those boys will need a huge nap, especially since Shinken is coming up. And just, I'm so happy for them right now. They deserve it. They are magical babies. And I'm actually going to shove off the next point, though, because we came up with another bombshell when they came out with this announcement. Lexi, I will not stop screaming in a minute. So, Lexi, you want to give this one some love?
Yeah, I got it. It's okay. We were also informed that Zaiki will not be returning for the role of Okurikara during the rerun of Mihotose. The new person who has been casted is Makishima Hikaru, who is actually like he is known with the other like Touken Danchi. He's actually in A3 right now, with Ryugi, which is Monoyoshi, and I believe one of the people like the historical figures who's also in it, but I don't remember who it is, and I don't remember the actor's name.
I
But I
want to
know
say
that they were
it's
all in it
Ieyasu.
together.
I feel like it's
But
Iyasu.
it just might be. But all I see is A3 pictures right now, so unless we're gonna be talking about the guy from the Winter Group that has blonde hair and glasses, which is what I know him as right now, and I could probably tell you his Twitter handle because I see it quite frequently. But he's a good kid. We have to support him and love him. He was also in the zombie Halloween stage thing with Haru-chan and Akira. And he was in Prince of Tennis like most other people.
Who wasn't in Tennimu?
He's gonna be here and we're gonna love him and support him, and I think that he will do a good job as Okurikara.
They'll be cute babs, and it'll be nice for several of the other actors to just have someone who hasn't really been in the Tomu so much, so it'll be like a little bit of a reunion thing. And we can go and I'll support Zyke some other way because he's also a good bab. So we'll make it work. And all the babies will get love.
Please send
I
all of your
just
support to
remembered. Hikaru and Zyke are both in dive. They're both in the dive state.
Honey, there are
Oh
so
my
many
God.
babs in dive that are running around in speedos, and the Tomu and Toste babies, they look so cold.
They need blankets and sandwiches.
A lot of sandwiches.
I'm sure they were having fun, but they look like they're gonna be chilly. So
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. It's okay. We're fine.
But yeah, so Miho Tose rerun will be great. Make sure you give all your love to Makishima as he steps into this new role. Support him as much as you can, as well as support Zyke. He's been doing a lot lately that looks like he's been having a ton of fun. You can find him and Makishima actually on Twitter to see what they're up to.
But yeah, give all the love to Zyke because obviously he has other things going on, which is probably the main reason. But there was some drama that happened early on in the year, so that could have also put a bit of a stain on that. But let's hope it's more of like Ogawa Yuki, where he's moving on to other things. So
yeah, it's just decided he fits the part a little too well, is all it is. He didn't want to get along, so he's not going to get along.
He got run off.
Jesi.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Tisk tisk. All right.
Hey, it fit. But one more thing on that though, because one thing that all the boys were really excited for is there's going to be a Kyoto performance, like Sarah mentioned in February, and they didn't have one when it went through the first time. So this opens the door for more people to go see Miho Tose, so they will get that extra love. And I think that's really exciting. If you're interested in getting any of the tickets, check that out online too. There's the if you're getting the CDs for Musubi, the singles, it's the album release that is about to come out with its CD mid-March, mid-month of November. There's a special number in there, a serial code you can use to enter a special lottery to get a ticket for one of those performances. So check that out too.
But
give them your love.
Speaking of performances, where's the Kyushu love? Where's my Kyushu
love? The Kyushu love happens with the stage plays. That's all I can really say. They don't often go down to Kyushu for them
to Fukuoka, you jerk.
Maybe we'll get a Kuroda Clan musical one day.
Please.
Oh,
and
please.
If we have Kuroda, can we also have the Otagumi too?
Not. If they have a Kuroda one, they can't not go to Fukuoka. I'm sorry. If they don't, I'm rioting and I'm sending a petition to them and being like, I'm sorry. I'm a filthy American weeaboo, but you need to send your boys to Fukuoka because that's sad.
Basically. And they're
really
working on it. They're doing what they can.
Why do the stages go to more places? I don't know. Because even the Haikyuu stage play went to Fukuoka, and I missed it by a month, and I sobbed.
That's a mood.
Yeah, no, I was like done studying abroad and then was like, oh hey, it's gonna be here at the end of September. I'm like, rip my life. But
Yeah, that was me trying to go to a haiku play in Osaka while studying abroad. It did not work, and I was sad.
well, anyways, I think that's all of our news, correct?
That
Any
is, yes, all of our news. We just have the last little bit.
all right, and we're gonna let Lexi cover that.
Yo.
So along with since we are doing a blade, we're also going to be covering an actor. And to go along with Tomoe,
Are we good? It's my turn? Okay, cool.
yes.
Um,
That was your segue, Lexi.
sorry, I miss social cues. I'm awkward.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Squeaky Squishy, and I'm awkward. Kiyama Hiroki.
Hiroki?
Haruki. I cannot
There we
talk.
go.
You know what? I'm gonna cancel myself right now. And I'm gonna sit here for 3 seconds and I'm gonna recollect my thoughts because I can't read.
Ho-chan understands.
Restart.
Okay. Kiyama Haruki. I'm just gonna call him Haru-chan because I can't read. Hi guys. This is a real king right here. I'm so
Emperor.
glad that you guys have sat through this all for me to go on my rant. I found out some good news for you. This great boy who plays Tomoe Gata Naginata was born on January 10th, 1985. Good kid. He started performing at the age of 3 and was inspired by his father who did kabuki and his mother who did ballet. And at the age of 14, he moved to the United States to become a better dancer. In 2008, he graduated from the University of the Arts with a BFA in ballet. And just from there, he just took off and started performing. And now he's just living his best life, doing all the wonderful things that he does, like taking pictures of his fruit hanger and hanging out with all of his friends. But I found a good list of notable works that he has been in. Like, I don't know. He was in Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror World Tour cast in 2010, as
What?
well as being on Broadway for a few years. And I don't know about you guys, but that was something.
He has the skills.
Yep. And you can tell
He's,
if you watch Musubi.
he's definitely magical.
You know, those hips don't lie.
Twirly, twirly. Thank you, Lexi, for filling us in on a little bit more into some of the actors involved in the stage plays. Hopefully I will memorize them all. Lexi is going to quiz me one day.
It's a
I am-
graded assignment.
Yeah, it's a graded assignment apparently. So, well, we'll see how I
Will the
do.
Master Sword master the quiz? We'll find out soon.
I'm not good with actual people.
Don't worry, we'll make sure you do wonderful.
Okay, I got into K-pop and I managed to memorize all of those boys, so I will be fine once I actually sit down and look at them. It's just I'm used to seeing them as their characters, and I'm like, I can't pick you out of a lineup when you're not in character, or if you're in a different character outfit, unless it's
Look for
Maki, because it's Maki.
Heart pictures, like noses, eye shapes, smiles, cheeks, and hairstyles because Tourette. Some kids have very special hairstyles.
Brushy is a common thing with certain ones.
And child, you go back to that color before because that one does not work.
I wonder
Didn't
what
Imano's actor dye his hair like blonde?
Bad.
No, so
Doesn't
Imano
he?
usually has his hair blondish, but Mario has his hair black usually. One day they like switched.
I
And
remember that.
Oh my god, he was
yeah.
Mario.
Curly
Yeah.
haired.
So Mario is Mikazuki, okay? And then we have Shunya, who's the little Imano bouncy fairy boy, right? And to see them suddenly switch colors, you're like, my brain hurts. Stop.
Yeah.
My favorite is like casually sitting there scrolling on like Instagram, and then bam, Sato Ryuji has a new hairstyle and a new hair color.
Yep.
Yeah,
Your
that
boy.
Your
happens.
boy.
Jesse, collect your son.
I need to. If I have to collect mine, y'all have to come collect yours. Like,
I don't
Happily.
do anything. Like,
Eh.
yours is off having adventures of some sort with Torigoe because those two and their Reebok love, like,
Reebok.
if you want to
That
get more into
Reebok.
these stage actors, go
yeah,
follow their
anyway.
Twitters. They're
Please
huge.
do.
And you will
Oh,
be
like
frustrated.
Torigoe is trying to get in with Moku and like, hey, let's go travel together. Because Moku's
Even
like,
if
I
you
want to go
don't
to
know what
LA.
they're saying.
I
Oh.
want to go to New York. And
Even if you-
Torigoe's like, great, let's go.
But sometimes, like, even if you don't know what they're saying, some of their pictures are just great. Especially Hisamaru, who
Listen.
can't take a dang picture to save his life. They're always
Akira
blurry.
died.
Akira's like, they're
Special
always blurry.
pictures.
He's laughy. He is a giggle box, and I swear he can't keep a straight face.
I
All
am
right.
so excited with the Shinken post coming soon because the practices have started for that, and to see them all with the pictures together, I'm looking forward to more of the blurry. What
Oh
is it?
gosh.
Hige's actor called him Bure Maru. It's like blurry
There's a lot
Maru
of
is back.
blurry-
Yeah.
All right.
Tune in
Well,
for another wonderful session of how many times will Akira touch his belt while performing. Because we all know that I'll be keeping a tally.
yep.
Please do.
All right. Well, I think we have rambled on enough at this point. So thank you guys for listening so much to our podcast. If you want to know more about us and keep up to date, you can follow us on our social media at Touken Rambles on Twitter and Touken Rambles Podcast on Facebook. You can listen to our podcast anywhere where podcasts are hosted, including our Podbean, iTunes, and the Google Play Store. We also have our YouTube channel as well, where you can listen to our podcast there. If you want to keep up with us and talk with us a little bit more, please come find our Discord if you would like to, because we've been having some issues with bots and other things. I had to put a big old lockdown on a lot of the invite related stuff with the Discord. So please message our Twitter, and we will we will give you a link so you can join us here. And just as a reminder, once again, I mentioned this kind of in the middle of nowhere in upcoming updates for the game, but also our upcoming updates. We will not have a podcast in November. We will have a podcast for that will cover both November and December, so look out for that. Probably around the end of the holidays times. So, all right, that's it. Once again, thank you guys so much for listening. We are Touken Rambles Podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.